Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone, this morning. Good morning to everyone present, ladies and gentlemen, members of the provincial government and the representatives, members of the community here in Mount Hagen. Today we have the Special Parliamentary Committee inquiring into the interactions of customary land and status of customary land and its interactions in the country relative to law or the absence of law. As I was explaining earlier in our preliminary informal discussions, this Special Parliamentary Committee has been established by Parliament with specific terms of reference to inquire into and make findings on the nature of customary land and land law in this country. So basically we are, this committee is seated up here. I'm joined by the Honorable Allan Bird Jr., member for Kokopo, the Honorable Ricky Morris, member for Alotau Open, and the Honorable Lawyer Boy Samuel, member for Port Moresby Northwest. We also have on our committee the Honorable Wairapa, Governor Western Highlands. But as you all know, we are challenged with, and his timetable has been not been able to allow him to make this attendance because of the funeral procession of the late Honorable Luther Wenge and other commitments. So we've excused him in this scenario, but sends his apologies and he's welcomed us into the province, and we're so grateful for his involvement. Now, the basic terms of reference of the committee for the purposes of the viewers and attendees this morning and those listening in or tuned into the live stream is, amongst other things, to conduct a thorough review of the current land tenure system in Papua New Guinea, including customary state and freehold land arrangements. B, to analyze the legal institutional frameworks governing land tenure to identify strengths, weaknesses, gaps, and inconsistencies. And C, to engage with relevant stakeholders, including government agencies, customary landowners, community groups, NGOs, etc., to understand the diverse perspectives and insights of land formalization. To conduct public consultations such as this, to gather feedback from the general population to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the issues and concerns related to land tenure, or customary land tenure, to be specific. And next is to identify challenges and bottlenecks hindering effective use of customary land, equitable land distribution and sustainable use, and explore opportunities and best practices from other jurisdictions that can be adapted to improve the land tenure system in Papua New Guinea, and to propose policy and legislative reform to enhance customary land use or access, ensuring alignment with international standards, cultural practices, and sustainable development goals. And to develop recommendations to streamline land registration processes, improve land titling mechanisms, and ensure security of tenure for landowners. Security of tenure for landowners, we're talking about security of tenure for customary landowners, indigenous people of Papua New Guinea, without being disconnected from that land. And to suggest capacity building initiatives for government agencies, land administration, and landowners to enhance their understanding and implementation of the reformed land formalisation process. The key word being here is the formalisation policies. This key phrase will underpin the outcome of this committee. And finally, to develop a strategy to increase public awareness and understanding of the reformed land tenure system to foster community participation and compliance. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is basically the terms of reference or the ambits of the engagement that we are empowered as an extension of Parliament to engage in with our general populace and gauge their views and to guide the narrative or inform any outcome that this committee will return to Parliament with. Ultimately, we will return to Parliament when these consultations are complete with a report to Parliament with a recommendation or recommendations underpinned by a step forward in formalization through legislation, by law. So this is the endeavor of the committee, and we are here this morning to seek your views and to seek your understanding for the Highlands region and the sample of Western Highlands, and from various sectors and organizations, as I've outlined earlier. So we have with us, I'll open at this point, we have representation from the Provincial Government here to make some submissions. There is an email on the notice that was circulated, so do not feel that you will be left out. If in the event, for those who are viewing this live stream, those who are present here today, you may not have, if you have received this notice, in short time or you're not prepared enough, do not lose hope. You have an email address there which you can submit your thoughts signed off to the committee, and the committee will take your views, additional views on board between now and the end of October. So, on Demdisla, I'll give opportunity to the lands officers from provincial government to express some thoughts. But, sir, before you do, when you do, if you'd be so kind to state your name, your title, and your vocation or employment, and the organization you come from, and then you can express some thoughts. Yeah, sorry, you have a microphone with you. If you can use that as well.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of my name is Mapa Konge. I'm the Executive Manager for Lands and Physical Planning for Western Highlands Provincial Administration. And I administer all lands and physical planning matters for the province. But before I take us through, unfortunately, Administrator cannot make it, so he has assigned a delegated the Deputy Administrator, who Mr. Ashley Tigelu is here this morning. So since you are a very important and team in this province at the moment, I think we are privileged to have you, so we can probably welcome you first, and then we'll take you through.
Thank you, Mr. Kong. We have a very important delegation here with the National Parliament, and the National Parliament is now with us through this committee, a Special Parliamentary Committee on Customary Land and Land Reforms, very important committee on the ground with the people of Western Highlands, our participants, media, and on behalf of the Provincial Administration, Administrator Mr. Joseph Mengel, and the Provincial Administration, our Executive Manager Lands and Physical Planning, and also on behalf of the Provincial Government and the our Honorable Governor, wherever, who's also a member of the committee, and the people of Western Islands. I'd like to firstly convey our Honorable Governor's apologies that our provincial treasurer has passed on. So he's now in Port Moresby and he's not able to make his apology. I know he sent his apologies through the channel. And also the apologies of Provincial Administrator, Mr. Joseph Mengbe, stepping for him. Chairman, Honorable Kiat MP, for a member for hearing Prairie Open. The members, especially Honorable Herman Tuaban Jr., member for Kokopo Open. Honorable Ricky Morris, committee member for Alatau Open. And Honorable Loa Samuel, MP for committee member. We've heard of the names, but we're privileged to have you on the ground. On behalf of the people and the government and the administration, I'd like to warmly welcome you to Western Islands especially. And this committee is a very important committee. Members, thank you for coming. Our participants, the forum to address by our very special committee. Customary Land, as we all know, possibly 80% of or 70% of the land is owned by the people. And it's always had issues, not only in Papua New Guinea, but throughout the world. There are some countries that the land is owned by the state, but there are some countries like Papua New Guinea, land, most of the land is owned by the people. And we're privileged to have this very, very important committee on the ground addressing the people of Western Islands, not only Western Islands, but the islands region. It's always been an issue. And I know you're trying your best to get things right for our people, and we are privileged to contribute to the laws and policies you'll make through this committee to Parliament for our people. Again, thank you, and we're privileged to have you here. Welcome to Hagen. Thank you.
Thank you. Probably I'll stand. Okay, we will talk vision. We will talk vision so that you all get an understanding. This is like one of the big problem area. People are Panama through the administration, law country. Now, kind of all government you make that in place, some kind or consultant, kind or sample all man people are making long working reforms long ground all in us away. Check them good now, work good now. We are going through a lot of problems. I'm sure some of these people here with us today, they have big problems. And I stand in to address their feelings and all these things. So, for me, talk vision by Miari. Okay. Number one, topic by me talk people, something by me talk people, emotion. Problem is la country now emotion. Most of the land is locked into customary ownership. Let's say 99% or something. And to free this land, I'm hard now. I'm hard. And then when you look at it, there is no proper legislation or clear pathway along freeing this ground for development. Here the government, the previous government and all these people, they were preaching about freeing up customary land and empowering customary landowners to benefit on their own land, and all that fast is not working. People want to, yes, make use of their land. They want to move on in life, but pathway not clear. Given a lot of problem areas. Okay, now they came up with this ILG thing. And in 2019, we had the Provincial Summit here on the other side of the room. conference room there, and I had a big fallout with Benjamin Simpson. At that time, he was the Restorer of Titles, and he was the moderator at that time. And then he didn't even give me chance to have my problems, you see. And I'm an old land administrator for this province. And I've been growing with problems, and I know all the problems, the ways to get out of all these problems and all that. Now, we should be, they should get our views, and we should have our problems. We should find solutions to this, but they've done and came up with legislations behind closed doors in Waigani. They brought it here, and they told us to swallow it, and I said, no, that will not work. And then Benjamin Simpson did not give me chance, because I kept on interjecting, because what they brought was not right for the Highlands region. Okay, coming down, when you look at the ILG thing, ILG legislation or the law came about when the abuse of land in resource areas, plus most of the big land areas and the coastal areas and all that, where they had been clearing for oil palm, and then they were chopping down trees, and they made money from our own timber, and then they developed our areas and pushed the land on us and all that. So that was the abuse in there, where they scrapped this special agricultural business list. They did not consider coffee plantations, they did not consider tea plantations, cocoa plantations, and then most of these small landowners here trying to make ends meet, owning a workshop or residential, all that, we administered it through SAPL, since they are not state land, you see. So SAPL was the only pathway that looked after customary land. And they scrapped that one, and then now all the plantations have gone bush, because where will they get money when banks are reluctant to fund SAPL titles? Yes. So given all that, I told them, you bought crabs in here, you take it back. Take it back, you send another team, do a proper consultation, we sit, and you come up with something workable, so that whatever title that we can, what will be made bankable, conducive for banks. Now, you're putting everything under, like I know some Long Islands. Mibla, one man you got ground from Mibla yet. You know, one man become controlling ground from me. No chairman or whatever will control my land. I have the right to use my own land the way I want. I know same so. Take it to resource areas. You leave this SAPL thing, SAPL title. And we cross this land, we cross it on our current way. So there was a set of recommendations that we gave today. There was another team from another camp came up last time, and I asked the same woman, I asked her, you were given the recommendations. Have you touched anything? Have you came up with anything? It's close to 7-8 years now. We cannot wait. Businesses will not wait. The plantations will not wait. What pathway have you came up with to make these titles, customary land titles, bankable? Here the government is preaching about freeing up customary land and making landowners benefit on their own land and all that. And it's not working. You guys are sleeping. And right? Lands Department, go back and do something and come back. So I am always advocate of the administration of customary land use in this country. So I told him to go. And then for Western Islands, I came up with a model for myself. I did it out from my brain, and now it's working. And then our current work, our fiscal plan has got it on the soft copy, so we can present it and you can have a look at it. So I told them SAPL will not work. All the West Nile is changing. Most of you are reaping the benefits of the land, from the land. So every time we go out and survey, but surveying and survey fees and all that are killing them as well. That's one factor. And then the administration of that piece of customary land, I don't know where to push it through. So I only go to administer through Justice Department, PNG Land Commission. So now PNG Land Commission. So I think in 2018, the commission came and awarded about 168 titles. And we did 168 there. Nobody used plan, no more all stuff there. One man who am is like glass man stuff. Hey, I didn't know I'm big to look at them. Pass him come up on them on the law. He's having problem, this guy. We administered it through Tenure conversion and not Bankable no never yet in this land. And the lease life is 25 years. So in some banks they wanted 99 years. So uplifting, it goes to the minister again. And there's a lot of paperwork. And paperwork, and along the way, you know, you have to play some technique to get the thing to reach the other end and all that. So this country is really, you know, going through a big hell of a problem. So all we want is something so clear, and these people can understand, and we can save time to administer. So we are very pleased to have you, because these are the things that we wanted to say, but thank God that it brought you right to the next doorstep. So, but we know we planted masora along the way. People are planting, all but talk, me but talk, administrative but talk. People have a problem start with plate now. Plate so people but talk. I think we will give you enough information to go back and do whatever you need. So, and problem people are all the time, we got to go down here. Also, call money or one kind of we won't go through anything. Then we come back ask him, and I glass money below. We are over better solo. Pull again, pull it. You walk like you be the one time. Well, you got to come in. So, there are problems along the way in the administration process. So, we must look at legislation where the process must be clear and short. And then the Lands Department has to do a thorough cleanup itself from inside too. So that's one of the problems.
That's the biggest impediment.
And then we look also. Customary Land and we got separate department land empowered. We will administer it. Now, state lease one time, customary land one time,
That's almost the key.
you got some really loophole stuff now. Time people got more SAPL now, all LTC title now, fresh application and people got more. All work one talk. We open direct state lease conversion. All work like time now, without the landowners consent, all time putting on the state lease now. Give them all Hong Kong which day. Hong Kong foreigners which they are not supposed to. So plenty of abuse have come up long. Lord, this is the time when we are sitting and for so long on these matters. So, to take you back, basing on all these problems, we cross on them all now, mirrors more than again. I actually can't go. It will not make investment. And today, I have never administered a ILG in this What me talking about line? Karamika. You me walking along Tenure conversion. People all in. People are yet listen to all the work. The revolvers meet also. So when the revolvers came, they were not secured. They were not secured. They did not know where they were sitting. So we came up with this. I set up the Provincial Fiscal Planning Office and the board. And I pulled this guy all the way from the Fiscal Planning Office. And he came in and he has done a lot of work for this province now. And now you see all developments are springing up, spreading along the road corridor. So we'll show them the fiscal planning area declaration. No choice. Business is booming, so we are trying our best to free up the customary land. The green is, the big one is Hagen Town. The other smaller green one on the other side is Holy Trinity. The other one is the Kagumuga area. See, these are three only areas, state land areas we have. But we already have development spreading outside of this box. So what we did was, when this guy came on board, we proposed that one, and the Fiscal Plan was not Fiscal Planning Board has approved it. And now we are applying. We are applying that, and now we have Kongongs coming in, lining up on the road corridor. So the red line from the center right down, running through is the highway. So we said 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers out from the main road corridor are declared physical planning areas. So any business activities, any whatever, you must comply with physical planning rules. So we are monitoring that development now. So now the investors are feeling comfortable, so they're coming. But on the title thing, all this roadside land are under customary land, tenure conversion, freehold title, which is not bankable. And title, I think, all in, but me sorry now. I came up with that model, and then now we put him under the Lorada. So what they're doing is anything that is going on inside there, they are leasing it to the investors now. Leasing means now they are benefiting now. Landowners are benefiting from the land now. You see. Let me talk. Benefit from your own land. Now they are benefiting because we put them under the radar. We're controlling development. And we are putting some PIP funding and so forth for zoning and land use survey and all that stuff, and trunk services to run from the back, probably run through the red dots, red lines, power lines to go, sewage to go, all that. So this is the future model for Western Islands. The picture. This is the picture, but we are gradually working on it. So by doing that, we are trying to free up the land now. We are trying to free up the land, but the thing is, all these are still under customary, and they are under most of them are titled, most of them are not titled, but those that are titled are under either SAPL, which is break, or under freehold, tenure conversion, which is not bankable. So we're still finding it hard to administer the customary land now. There's no clear pathway, no legislation to fully guide them to have a more appropriate bankable title. That's one. Two, when during the 2018 summit, one of my recommendations was that since you scrape the attach the SAPL title, you have to revisit that one again, because any land that is less than 50 acres, SAPL can apply. More than that, abuse will come, so you can apply that. With that, we must make note that oil palm areas are the problem areas, because they take up huge land, and then they extract our forest resource and all this stuff. So, oil palm areas, ILG can apply. Resource areas, ILG can apply. But others less than 50 acres and down, let SAPL remain. Now we cannot change all the SAPL, because maybe 80% of SAPL titles are still there. They're holding it because they don't have a clear administration to change and all that. So all the SAPL title, all nothing stopping. So we have to come up with a legislation to actually put the SAPL titles back, so that banks will accept this title. So plenty problem, people all stuff. Some of them will thinking, but then maybe your business committee or so. You will start sit down thinking for them, maybe talk. But this is how far I can take you through. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pony. Very informative and very clear pathway. And I commend you on the work that you have employed in Western Highlands land administration. Notwithstanding the shortcomings of and the gaps that exist in the legal framework, I think you tried to come up with innovative organization or management of the agenda that we are currently discussing. I actually, can you just put that map up again? First, I wanted to raise some questions, just for clarity. The road corridor, firstly, do you have an inventory of all the state leases in the green shades that you have highlighted, those three green shades?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Do you also have an inventory of titles or interests that are outside of the green shaded areas, particularly along the road corridor?
Yes, the green area are state lease areas. So they have state leases, which they are applying at the moment. But outside of these green areas, yes, they're all customary land. Customary land, and previously they used to administer these titles through Special Agricultural Business Lease, which is SAPL. But now they replaced that one with ILG. And then the banks are refusing that title now. So all of nothing stuff here. You look in plenty of store, workshop number they go down, plenty of plantations, plenty of money mem stuff lo SAPL, but no got use now. Bank in so plenty of coffee garden and bush.
Yes.
So when me inside long white area, inside long red long map, and me got least long all got the title all the stuff.
What is on those white areas within the
customary land?
And what's there? You have I've noticed some recent developments, well, warehouse now, a few other developments along the roadside on both sides. But outside of that, what's there? Just gardens.
Sample staff that's all investor no come. All yet the open but all bucks money way. Bank all no give money.
Thank you.
All title nothing stuff.
Yeah. Are you,
because the bank is not that what they free all titles that they're holding now, plus the scraped SAPL titles, they're not bankable. Banks will not lend.
correct.
So what I'm looking at is I'm very, very mindful of us enacting a legislation or a clear pathway by you me come up on them one plug and title by accommodating this law. Those are waiting now. Plus the fresh ones that may be working. So that kisim na bogo straight lo bank na working.
That's the general view, huh?
Yeah. And then along the road there, people put him here. All him title finish here. SAPL want them Tenure conversion title all him line, people say people issue line. Now all issue now, all Asians or all the Wolvers now. All going yet, and now you look more buildings you go down.
But these are extra legal arrangements. Namel long
All yet.
ground yet now company. These are not within legal framework, but these are called extra legal. Outside, it's not illegal, but it's extra legal. That's the correct
extra
word.
legal.
Yes. So it's outside of recognized law. All this not.
That's right.
Land Registration Act, Land Tenure Commercial Land Act. But what they've done is they come up with the customary title through LTC and through freehold conversion, which of course is perpetual and unenforceable, but unenforceable and therefore cannot be taken by bank as security. That's what you're saying, correct?
That's right.
And you're also saying that because of this gap, the government should be looking at creating a new, well, you said some very important things.
That's right.
I'm going to recap again. Firstly, past time through, we've been talking about because of these problems that you've been identifying as a lands officer on the ground, you think of customary land management should be the subject of a separate department or authority of government. Okay. Number two, you also made a specific point that ILGs in the Western Islands or in the Highlands region do not function. It's not welcome.
That's right.
Correct, huh?
Yep.
Because bush ground is owned by the people. Now, you probably ground, you said that Laman by come now, hold it over you, lord it over you, by come up the talk of some power blend, and that more blow you yet. You don't welcome that, correct? Agree. Number three, did you, listening to you earlier, you made some very important points about the Hagen Town development and the intention to free up land. The problem is there is a gap, you agree, a gap in the law. So you are encouraging, this is the committee, if you, if you see the terms of reference that was advertised, you will see that this is intended to create a bankable instrument that is in relation to customary land. So I would like to hear more from, of course, yourselves and everyone else in the room, as much as possible. I think your introductory remarks are very clear, and I commend you and the Western Islands government for taking the initiative at least to try to secure and quarantine the growth pattern.
That's right.
That you sort of mapped out the physical planning area, and obviously that's a function of physical planning board to approve and disapprove any development. In that process, one of the requirements is to ensure title. Of course, you are recognizing that there's no really title, but you are getting consent through agreements, extra legal agreements or consent forms to give access. Huh? Yes. And I suppose this is a very important one, because sometime back, last year or earlier this year I was here, we took a drive down to the Highlands Highway, and I recognized some of these new developments in the precinct of Hagen Town, particularly along the road corridor. And the question did strike my mind as to how these businesses were accessing land and working with them. So you answered that question very well, so I'm very grateful for that. It will sort of points the path forward for us.